group 4 and my group includes 3 members. My name is Ching and my partners is Yin and Chan. The topic is about hydroelectric, which has three parts. The first one is fun phase, is my part. The second one is classification, and the third one is generation, which will be responsible by Yin and Chan. Well, let's start with the first part. Hydroelectric is the oldest method of power generation in the world. Today, instead of using a creek water wheel on a creek, hydropower often involve building a massive dam. This massive dam to hold back a water source. With enough water pressure and draft, water can turn drain to bank and generate electricity. The second one is the Department of Energy says 70% of Washington state electricity comes from hydropower, and 11 states get more than 10% of their electricity from hydro. However, only 3% of 80,000 dams generate electricity. Number 3. According to the Energy Information Administration, China is the largest producer of hydroelectricity in the world with over 856 billion kilowatt hours in 2012, followed by Brazil, Canada, and United States. The United States is only occupies the 4th rank. And the picture is about the Sayerbury Dam, built $3.5 billion project on the Mekong River in Lawton, Laos, scheduled to be completed in 2019. It is one of the 11 dams planned to be completed by 2025, and it will provide 8% of the region's electricity and 3.7 billion a year in income. However, according to 2011 International River Report, it will affect more than 200,000 it will affect more than 200,000 people in the region and result in the possible extinction of fish species, reduce fish populations, inundation of riverbank, and loss of nutrients from floodplain agriculture, which may equivalent to $500 million a year. Most of people are aware of the impediment of this dam makes for the spawning and migrating fish, but it's not true that the water in reservoirs is stagnant and gathering more sediment and growing more aquatic waste, which may cause many problems with the downstream life. This is some interesting information about the hydroelectric power, and Yin will help me move on to the next part. Welcome Yin on the stage.
Cần gì trông chu lắm.
Okay, so now I will continue our presentation with part 2, classification. Actually, all of you know that hydropower or hydroelectric hydroelectricity refer to the conversions of energies from flowing water into electricity. And in the part 1, Jin just mentioned about the difference between the hydropower plant in the past and up to now. So I'd like to emphasize that the most important difference is that today modern hydro plants use the turbine and generators. So I have a question for you that do you know how many types of hydroelectricity production there are?
Maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, I heard that some people said 2 and others said 3. So now we will find out the answer together. Actually, there are 2 main types of hydroelectricity production that are dams and run-of-river. You can see on the slide, there are 2 pictures illustrate the dam and run-of-river. So now we move to the dam. Actually, dam utilize the potential energies from dam water to produce electricity, and a dam is a large barrier constructed to raise the level of water and control its flow. And the elevation created by the dam creates a gravitational force for turning the turbine when water is released. And some dams also contain an additional reservoir at their base where water is stored and to be pumped to the higher reservoir when the electricity is in demand. This refers to the pump storage hydro. So now we will move to the second form of hydroelectricity production, that's the run-of-river. Actually, run-of-river still uses the turbine and generator, but it relies on the natural water. It relies on natural water flow rate of the river, diverting just a portion of the water from through the turbine. And because run-of-river is subject to natural water variability, and it is more intermittent than the dam's hydro. You can see on the slide, here is the picture of the real run-of-river. So now I'd like to move to the next part, the classification of the site. There are various types of hydroelectricity plants. The large hydro is greater than 30 megawatt. The small hydro is between 100 kilowatt to 30 megawatt, and micro hydro is less than 100 kilowatt. You can see on the slide, this is the Hoover Dam in the United States. It's about 2,074 megawatt, and it's enough to serve 1.3 million people. And so solar hydropower holds the largest share of the worldwide electricity production. That's my part, and next Chang will take responsible for the last part. Welcome, Chang.
Well, as Yin has said about some information how hydroelectricity is generated. So now I will help you understand clearly about this procedure. I found that hydroelectric power and coal power plant produce electricity in a similar way. And you can see the map shows that water includes upper higher elevations and down through to lower elevations. The differences in these two elevations is known as the head. At the end is passing down the pipe. The falling water causes the turbine to rotate and makes the turbine turn right generator we convert the turbine mechanical energy into electricity. Then the transformer are used to convert the alternating voltage suitable for the long distance transmission. Those structures that house the turbine and generators and into with the pipes is called the powerhouse. The stop at the pipe or long channel which carry water down from the hydroelectric reservoir to the turbine inside the actual power station. One more, a hydroelectric reservoir, your collections of water held back by a hydroelectric dam. This water has a set amount of potential energies and it is held above the terrace of the dam. In general, the greater the water flow and the higher the head, the more electricity a hydropower plant can produce. And in some dams, the powerhouse is constructed on the line of the dam. A part of the dam being used as a speedway over which excess water is discharged type of blast. Some information I know in 2019, hydroelectricity account for more than 18% of the world's total power generation capacity. What is the reason to cause the promoting of hydroelectric plant? First, hydroelectric power is a renewable energy source. Due to hydroelectricity use the energies of running water without reducing its quantity to produce electricity. The second, hydroelectric power contributes to the source of the rainwater. It collects rainwater which then can be used for consumption, for irrigation, and they protect the water tables against the depletion and reduce our vulnerability to floods and droughts. Next, hydroelectricity has 5 climate change. In emitting less GHGs than power plant rather by gas, coal, or oil, hydroelectricity can help retard global warming. And the last one, hydroelectricity means a clean, cheap energy for today and tomorrow. Hydroelectricity offers a significant contribution to development. Moving to the end of our presentation, I hope the detailed information will expand your knowledge about hydroelectricity. Thank you for listening.